Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, and today we have a little bit different content for you. So very excited to announce my partnership with GunWraps. I've been working with GunWraps for quite a long time, and a lot of you guys ask me who Cerakotes my guns, and truth be told, I wrap them myself with GunWraps. So very neat that I get to do a partnership with these guys and give you guys a little bit of insight on how to do this yourself at home. So today we have a rangefinder and a binocular set that we're going to be wrapping my hunting gear with, since hunting season is amongst us in most states. I want to show you guys a little thing to give you guys this equipment a little bit of flash. Is it going to help you harvest a deer this year? Probably not, but hey, you're going to look cool doing it. So no further ado, we're going to jump into this. I'm going to show you guys how to do this. Alright, so here we have my Vortex rangefinder. It's just basic FDE green, but we're going to go ahead and slap the GunWraps Veil Whitetail camo on this bad boy. So the most important thing I think for any wrap is when you get it, it's usually going to be rolled up in nice packaging for shipping purposes. So what I like to do is the night before, take it out, lay it flat, and let it flatten itself. That way you're not having to deal with the vinyl trying to wrap on you while you're trying to do this. So and then second, you're gonna want to clean it, and I like to use some alcohol wipes just to sterilize everything, make sure it is completely clean. You can pick these bad boys up for like $3 for a whole pack of 100. And then of course here we have a heat gun, but if you don't have any of this fancy equipment like you see here, you can just go get a simple X-Acto knife and use a hair dryer if you have one. But you're definitely going to want to have a sharp blade, and you're going to want to be very patient. So let's get this prepped. So the rangefinder, you're definitely going to want to be careful. You want to keep this off of anything that's going to be important that can't get wet, and just give it a nice cleaning. Obviously don't wipe the lenses or anything because we're not going to be wrapping those, but we just want to make sure that this is all nice and cleaned up. All the fingerprints, all the grease, any of that is going to keep the vinyl from adhering to the surface. You want to make sure it is clean. Alright, now that we have this all cleaned up, we're just going to take our vinyl and get a simple measurement of how that's going to be. So as you can see, I have more than plenty to wrap this whole device. So let's just take it off and figure out which way we want our pattern to seat. And I'm thinking bottom is honestly going to be nice. So we can go ahead and take this. It peels right up off the corner, any of the corners. This is very good vinyl, by the way, so you definitely don't have to worry about anything going wonky on you or anything there. And in this instance, I am simply going to pull about halfway, and then I'm just going to lay it like this. And then to start off, we're going to take this, match the middle of our rangefinder. I'm going to overlap just a little bit because of the stickers down here. Serial number, I'm going to have to cut that out. Get it nice and straight. We can go ahead and press this down into place, just like that. And then we're just going to work in the vinyl nice and easy. Take your time, be patient. Don't worry about all the access just yet because we'll be cutting this all off. Now that we got it started on the bottom, we can go ahead and start to work it up. So we're just going to give it a nice little pull, make sure everything's straight. We're going to slowly and gently lay it down. You don't have to press on it just yet because we want to make sure that everything is sticking nice, it's adhering. So we'll just go ahead and start working it in. Alright, so we've now come a full 360 on this wrap, so we're going to go ahead and we're just going to cut off all this excess. We're going to start trimming everything up. As you can see, you want to be careful not to cut any more than you're not supposed to off. And we can save this because it is still a usable piece. If we need to fix anything or any minor touch-ups we might have, just go ahead and stick it right back on this transfer paper. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and start getting into this and cutting out all of our lines, making sure everything's nice and seated in here, and then we'll hit it with some heat. So you can leave as much as you want on, you can take as much as you want off. In this case, I do want a little bit of this rangefinder to show, so I'm going to just make some nice indentations in this wrap to clearly show me where I need to be cutting, which in this case I'm trying to cut this line out right here, which is the front of the rangefinder. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. You don't need to press hard. Obviously this is a razor blade, so you can kind of mess some stuff up if you're not careful. So you really want to pay attention to what you're doing. You want to have some decent lighting, and you know, just take your time. Alright, so we have most of this cut out now, as you guys can see. I just want to show you kind of how to do this. So I had already cut out this nice bevel. Take your X-Acto knife or whatever cutting utensil you're using. You just want to very gently pull up on that, ensuring that you're not scratching anything underneath. And then we can go ahead, give that a nice little tug, and watch how satisfying that is. Just peel right away, just like that. And when you get to your other end, you already have it cut. So go and give it a nice little pull. Comes off just like that. As you can see there, nice, easy. The one thing to note about wraps is it's all about, you know, your angles. So obviously if you keep your blade and you follow your contoured lines, you're going to get nice straight cuts, which is going to help you precisely get those clean, nice edges that you see, like around here in the back, and obviously around the edges of the rangefinder. Another thing I like to do right before I cut something out is just give it a nice little line to follow, and then I can go ahead, insert my blade at an angle, get it started, and then I should be able to run my blade right along the edge of it. Final process, I have everything cut out the way I like it. This is what I went with. As you guys can see, nice lines, straight lines, overlap on the bottom to make sure it doesn't come across, peel up on me. Got the buttons all cut out. I did cut out the serial number down below. I left the back open just because I didn't really mind it. But now we want to go ahead and hit it with some heat. So we're going to take our heat gun, and you want to be careful because this is an electronic device. We don't want to put too much heat on it. So you just want to give a little bit around the bevels. Set that aside, and then we want to work this down into our grooves. Get all those lines worked out. Nice and easy. Don't need to put too much force on it. And as you can see there, we now have our line for texture. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side here. Our rangefinder is all done. We're going to go ahead and move along to the binoculars. As you can see there, very nice pattern. I still have my texture. I can still grip it very nicely. It looks super sleek, and it's not that basic Vortex green. So here we have my Vortex binoculars. These are just some Triumph HDs. These are 10 by 42, I believe. But we have it all prepped. We're going to get it cleaned up, and then we're going to take these off as well, and we'll start on this. Online it does give you directions on how to do this. Briefly, a description showed me that you can start off on one side. I'm going to show you guys how to do that now. So we're going to take this off completely, and then they want you to start off lining this up in the middle on one side, making sure that the pattern is straight. Pretty straight there. We're going to center it a little bit. Alright, we can start laying it down and getting it all formed to our optic. Binoculars are of course going to be a little bit more difficult because there are so many curves and stuff. So like right here, for instance, as you guys can see, this is a curved down area. It's where they connect in the middle, and the optic obviously is a circular size. So what I like to do is I make a little bit of a over adjustment. I make a corner cut, and then I want to work this down, and I want this to kind of do its own little thing and let it kind of tear apart. The optic flipped over. Just want to make sure that everything is looking good still, and we're just going to go ahead and pull the vinyl from the bottom into this space, trying to get as much surface area covered as possible, making sure that I can see everything that I'm going to have to cut out later. And then we can come back over here and we can start working it down. Essentially all you want to do is make some nice relief cuts until you get it to stay nice and right where you want it, along while making sure that there's no creases or bubbles in the wrap. And you just keep working it in until it finds its seating, which in this case it's doing pretty well. So you're going to find areas, like I had mentioned, that are going to be really tight, and you're just going to want to either take off that excess or at least make a relief cut. That way it does have some room to play. On this side we do have a little bevel over here that we're going to have to also give a relief, because otherwise we're not going to be able to stretch it, and on top of it we're going to have a problem when it comes to trying to get this to stay straight. So I made a little incision. I'm just going to go ahead and open it up so I can see where it's at, just like this, stretching the vinyl a little bit, and then I can start to lay this down, and I'll go ahead and cut this out. Alright, so I made a little temporary cutout. I'm going to go ahead, now I'm going to start to work this right down where I need it, making sure that everything is laying flat. Now most of this is going to get cut off, so I'm not really too worried about it. I'm just going to make sure that I can see my lines, make sure there's no creases in this. I'm going to keep on going about what I'm doing until I get to down here. And this is where I'm going to have to stretch the vinyl, make sure that it's laying flat, make sure that I don't have any creases. I got a couple starting to form right here, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up on it, pull it, stretch it, get it out of there. Take my fingers, run along the edge. Anywhere that there's starting to crease, I'm just going to pull. Heat does help. I don't like to use heat right off the bat. See if I can fix it first. That way I'm not getting the vinyl too hot, allowing it to stick a lot better. This next part, it's a little bit difficult. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to tuck it in between the nice gap that you see there in between this knuckle and the lens. And we're just going to try to work it right into that spot. Pull it up and get it situated in there. And we'll pull it over. Now that we got that in there, we can go ahead and cut off this little excess piece, because obviously we want this to be as straight as possible. Nice little incision. Just go ahead and pull that right away, and then we can start trimming all of our excess stuff. Alright, so we have everything cut out, as you guys can see there. Looks a lot better than the green. It looks sick, honestly. I love it. Binoculars are a little bit easier to cut out just because you have so many more predominant lines, and it's just overall easier. But you definitely want to take your time. This did take me a little bit, but it looks very good. We're going to go ahead and do the other side now. And the binoculars are finished. I have everything cut out. Everything is heat shrinked, and it is applied as it should be. These look absolutely amazing. Here we have our finished products. As you can see, this camo pattern looks absolutely phenomenal paired together. It's going to be the closest thing to match my Badlands Approach FX this fall, and I'm super excited to get out in the field and use these. They look absolutely amazing. The binocular wraps coming in about 25 bucks. The rangefinder wraps are coming in about $19, so super cheap and affordable. And they have so many different options in camo patterns, and anything you guys need, they probably have it. And they have shotgun wraps, AR wraps, pistol slides, you name it, they probably have it. So be sure to go check them out. I'll leave a link down below so you guys can go visit their website and see what they have to offer. So big shout out to GunWraps for sending that stuff out to me. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this more informative video on how to wrap weapon systems. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than Cerakote, and the great thing about it is if this scratches it, if I scratch this on a branch or something, I can just take the wrap off, and more than likely whatever's underneath this is probably going to be very well protected. So it's kind of a double layer of security, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. And thank you, my lovely subscribers, for watching all the way to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's content, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe. We're going to be doing some cool stuff. We have some great things coming up on the channel, so stay tuned, and as always, I will catch you guys next time.